The strategy for seeding is way different than transplanting shoots, right? The whole point of reseeding is that you're actually using the seeds and dispersing them through some sort of mechanism. Now, there are two main strategies to reseeding. One is to create these bags of flowering shoots that are suspended on a mooring or a buoy. These are called buds. And there's a few things that you need to set up a bud. First are going to be some sort of anchoring material. Here I'm using just some large chain. Depending on the conditions, you might want to use cinder blocks or any type of really heavy object that's going to be able to anchor your float. The higher the current velocity, the more weight that you're going to need to anchor. The other thing that you're going to need is some good rope and a buoy. Oftentimes I'll label my buoy with my name, my phone number, and if you have some sort of permit that you're operating on, it's a good idea to put that permit on your buoy. Thing you might want to consider are zip ties. So anytime you're setting up some sort of anchored buoy, these come in really, really handy. The other thing that you're going to need is something to contain the flowering shoots themselves. Some people use things like pearl nets, which are cast nets. You can also use these bags that are designed for scuba diving. So the reason why we use a net like this is because of the mesh size. The mesh size is really important when considering your buds. You want a mesh size, this one I believe is about 9 millimeters, that is wide enough to let the seeds disperse out of the net, but still keeping the seagrass within your bud bundle. So that's an important thing to consider. And so you can buy these nets pretty standard at any sort of fish and tackle store. Now that you've grabbed your bag of flowering shoots, you're ready to start assembling your buds. Okay, now I have my anchor set up, my buoy attached with the bag of flowering shoots. You can deploy this either off the side of the boat or you can just walk it out. Today I'm just going to walk it out. For the buds technique, where you're just putting basically a bag of flowering shoots with their seeds out into the ocean that's on some mooring or buoy, the idea is that when the shoots are ready to release their seeds, then it's a perfect time for that. But you can imagine that's all the seed that you're going to be able to disperse. Oftentimes people will use this technique to increase the genetic diversity of the seagrass meadow that they're restoring. The other technique involves actually taking large amounts of flowering shoots, harvesting their seeds, and when they're ready, being able to go out typically by boat to disperse the seeds by hand. And then both of these techniques can be effective. One is to really increase the genetic diversity, and the other one is to really broadcast the seed over large areas.